It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Ravens and the Jets, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, here for the start, folks, of another NFL season. We are ready to go. We hope you are. And we'll begin this one, Charles, with a couple of teams hoping to move on from a tough 2021 season. Both the Ravens and the Jets finishing last in their respective divisions a season ago.
And let's start with Baltimore, because even in a very tough AFC North, I think we were all surprised to see the Ravens finish 8-9, snapping a streak of 3 straight postseason appearances. As for New York, we knew the rebuild was going to take a little bit of time, but I think the last 2 years they've drafted in a big-time way, and now the groundwork has been laid, and this could be an opening salvo for Gang Green to announce that they're back in playoff contention.
Zuerlein set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
Another excellent season from Lamar Jackson that was cut short by ankle injury and actually showed just how much he is valued as the leader of the Baltimore Ravens as they went 0-4 down the stretch and missed the playoffs without him. Prior to that, they were 8-5 in a tough AFC North, and he was on his way to his third 1,000-yard season as a runner and career-high marks as a passer.
The drive will start with an option going left, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete here. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When we call our game, we talk about Lamar Jackson, his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number, and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
Now this throw caught left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down. Now it's Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the Jets are going to have it here at their own 15. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
We'll get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
It was an educational rookie season for Zach Wilson, who was drafted to be the eventual face of the Jets as the team worked through a lengthy rebuild. 2,300 yards and 9 touchdowns as a rookie. He did miss some time midseason with an injury, but I really like the work that the Jets have done to put people around him and give him his best opportunity to be not only the face of this franchise, but get him back into perennial playoff contention.
Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. He's just shy of the 30. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot. And they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. On third down, Wilson. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
They'll start by running the option to the right. Past the 20. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 37 yards. Geez, I mean, what more can you say about Lamar Jackson? We know that he's got the quickness and the agility, but, you know, if you wanted proof of his straight line speed, look no further.
And to anyone who gets concerned when they see a quarterback running with the football, you just let him be himself. Let him be him. And I guess what you'd say there is hard to hit, but you can't catch.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, third and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it pushed up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive.
Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own. And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now Wilson. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They'll run with Hall.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He will find Davis. That's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit in the 1st quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they come up now 2nd and goal. To throw is Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. They juked him, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
4 yards. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 41. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring it forward.
Just said the one thing they did for 3rd and 1, but this team was up to the challenge and stopped them. Bring it up 4th down.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Jets are going to get the football back.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just noticed special teams coordinators rallying the team, saying, watch the fake for Brandon. Don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it, and they were ready for it and stopped it.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And it's good for a New York first down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll go again with Hall. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back to the ground with Hall. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. Corey Davis from 13 yards out. And the Jets have moved out in front. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Devin Duvernay came into the NFL with the reputation of being a playmaker, and he lived up to it in 2021. All-pro return man, led the league in punt return average. Baltimore wants to get that explosiveness more involved in their offense, and here it nets them a first down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A handoff running left is Dobbins. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 58 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. They run the option on 2nd down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. Now Jackson. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8. They've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Here's Jackson to throw. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And New York set to take the field. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Justin Houston in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Hall again. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's the Jets punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing is Jackson. And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. And Jackson throwing once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half. And even though they trail, they've had success running the football. Over 100 yards rushing as a team in those first 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Jets, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Jets head out on offense here to start this 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Or after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. On the draw, it's Hall. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Wilson. Escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
That's be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Yeah, with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go with the option, coming right. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble, and it gets him a 1st down.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. Well, that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews.
We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Tucker's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
And New York set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 2nd and 10. Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And from the 25, they work this to the 29. A gain of 4. Wilson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up. On 2nd down, here's the option.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 14 yards that time, but a first down on the keeper.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. To throw again on second down, Jackson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. From the gun on third down, Jackson dancing to his left. The quick feet, and it's a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Now Hall to start the drive. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. On first down, Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Wilson.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Hall on a give up the middle.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
The Ravens ready to take over.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop. Never got going. A loss of a couple. And it's second down.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snaps, and they're there, and they end up making the play.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now it's Jackson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And here comes Berrios. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Jets will take over. New York ready to go again offensively. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 7. That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to look deep for more, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
14 yards that time and a 1st down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Jackson going to hold on to it again. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. From just shy of midfield, Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets 36. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
Get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And now Jackson will look to throw it.
Open man is Duvernay.
And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
At the 10-yard line.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Dobbins trying the left side.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Ravens are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Takes it at the 7. Time for another drive here for this Jets offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He'll get this one complete to Davis.
Wilson's pass complete to Corey Davis. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson over the middle, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw going to be caught by Davis.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38.
Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Got a man, it's Berrios complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
4 yards remain for second down.
Throwing is Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Justin Houston in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now Jackson on 1st down. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning.
So here's Wilson and the Jets.
Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:55 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson.
And that's complete to Davis. Wilson on the hook up to Davis. 1st down Jets.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Wilson will throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. Got his man. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Baltimore, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.